Hello, comic book guys and gals, and welcome to Comic Mag Musings. I am your handsome but humble host, Bill Miller, and this is the lovely Mrs. Musings. All right, I'm super excited because we finally got another box of 25 comics back from CGC. They'd been there for over a year, and they have now safely returned. I have not seen the books nor the scores. Mrs. Musings covered up the grades for each of the books so that we could have a true mystery grade reveal. We'll do the first 13 in this video in consideration of time. Then we'll make a second follow-up video with the resulting 12. So, without further ado, let's get to showing and telling. All right, the first book. Now, Mrs. Musings and I both predicted the grades prior to sending them off to get cleaned and pressed. So we'll see how well we did. We didn't do so hot last time. The very first time, we were too conservative in grading. And so we adjusted that. But then when we got those back, we overgraded. And we sent in several before getting those results back. So I suspect we may have overgraded consistently. So it's a bit of a crapshoot, if you will. All right, so we'll take it out of the bag. And we have Thor, God of Thunder, number 6. Marvel Comics, May of 1913. Wouldn't that be sweet? May of 2013. Origin of Gore. And it says Jason Aaron's story. Butch Geis and Tom Palmer art. Esad Ribic. It's probably a Sod Ribic cover. And there it is. On the back, we have an advertisement for BioShock Infinite. Whatever that is. Video game, maybe? All right. So, Thor, God of Thunder, number 6. Let's see who did better in predicting grades. I predicted a 9.4, and Mrs. Musings predicted a 9.2. All right, let's see who was closer. And what do you know? I was right on the money. Boy, I'm special. My mom used to tell me that all the time. All right, so Thor, God of Thunder, number 6, 9.4, of course, white pages. You would expect that it's a brand new book, essentially. All right. So let's just make note of that. And our second one. Ooh, this is a good one. What are you doing? I'm the official comic book shower. What are you doing showing the comic books? Answer me, woman.
I do what I want.
Oh, okay. All right, we've got Spider-Woman issue number 1. And on the back, if you'd like to make money and get prizes, you can start slinging those fast-selling American seeds. If they weren't fast-selling, I wouldn't recommend them to you. So Spider-Woman number 1. Let's see what our grade predictions are. I predicted a 9.2. Mrs. Musings predicted an 8.5. I hope I'm right. Let's see. Oh, wow. What a shame. An 8.0. Well, she was closer. That's a double shame. But I was 3 off. She was 1 off. So Spider-Woman, issue number 1, 8.0, white pages. All right. Now, most of these, I think, we will ultimately sell. I know those first 2 I'll sell. If I come up with one that looks like it's for the PC, I'll let you rascals know that that's one we're going to keep. Okay, now we have Thor, God of Thunder, issue number 2. All right, we both predicted a 9.4 for this one. So I can't make up any ground, and she can't make up any ground. But hopefully, we both undergraded. So let's see what we've got. Oh, before we do, on the back, we've got an advertisement for another video game, Avengers Battle for Earth. And this is Thor, God of Thunder number 2, Marvel Comics, January of 2013. First appearance of Gore the God Butcher and All Black, the Necrosword. Jason Aaron's story, Assad Ribic cover and art. All right. So let's see what the CGC grading rascals gave us. 9.0. So lower than what we expected, but you just never know. All right, Thor, God of Thunder number 2, 9.0. Let me notate that. And what do we have next? Oh boy, this one will hopefully be one for the PC. If it's 9.2 or greater, then I'm keeping it. All right, let's see what we got here.
That's lint.
I hope that's lint, not like some spider leg or something. Let me see. No, that's lint. All right, we've got Black Goliath number 4, Marvel Comics, August of 1976. Stiltman appearance, one of the best villains of the Marvel Bronze Age. Chris Claremont's story, Rich Buckler and Don Heck art, Jack Kirby and John Verpoorten cover. So very excited about this one. And on the back, we have an advertisement for Monogram Flying Models. All right, so I predicted, where are we at? A 9.6, and Mrs. Musings predicted a 9.8. I hope she's right. But let's see what CGC gave us. Oh boy, she is right, a 9.8. Fantastic. That is super, super exciting. This one's definitely staying with me, and I believe that this completes our little Black Goliath run. So doubly exciting. Black Goliath number 4, 9.8 with white pages. Very cool. All right, next up. Oh, we've got Shulky. How many of you kids out there are watching the Disney Plus television show? I'm not watching it. Not because I don't like it or anything, but because I rarely watch any type of TV shows. But Mrs. Musings is watching it, and she likes it well enough. All right, we've got She-Hulk, issue number 1. Marvel Comics, February of 1980. Origin and first appearance of She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters. Origin of the Hulk, retold. This is Stan Lee's story. John Buscema and Chick Stone art. John Buscema cover. And on the back, we've got the Lego Expert Builder series. All right, so let's see what we predicted for this one. I predicted a 9.4, and Mrs. Musings predicted a 9.6. So let's see who was closer to the actual grade. What? That's wonderful, but how is she beating me? It is indeed a 9.6. That's fantastic. So Mrs. Musings strikes again. I think I probably got the two scores mixed up, those two columns, but at any rate, until further investigation occurs, I'll have to go with how they are now. So She-Hulk number 1, 9.6. All right. Oh boy, one of my faves. We've got Micronauts number 1. Let's see. All right. You want to read these?
No.
All right. No, I won't let you read them. I'll go ahead and do the reading. Micronauts number 1, Marvel Comics, January of 1979. First appearance of Baron Karza and Bug. Bill Mantlow's story, what a great world builder he was. Michael Golden and Joe Rubinstein art. Dave Cockrum and Al Milgrom cover. And on the back, we've got that same Builder series. Different ad for it, but the same Lego Builder series. All right. Micronauts number 1. I predicted a very bold 9.8. Mrs. Musings predicted a 9.4. So let's see who came out on top. Oh, and right down the middle, it's a 9.6. So it's a draw, a push, if you will. Micronauts number 1, 9.6. All of these, with the exception of that Black Goliath, I'll be selling because I have the She-Hulk, I have the Micronauts, I have the Spider-Woman, so on and so forth. 9.6. All right, next. Oh, now this one's a sad one, but I half expected it. So this one's Umbrella Academy number 1, but it was a giveaway for Free Comic Book Day. And there was an area where you could put your store stamp. And so I wasn't sure if they would count off for that or not, if they would count that as qualified, if there was an actual store stamp there or not. I figured it was a 50-50, so I said, let's just figure it out and try and find out. I'm going to keep it anyway, so it wasn't too big a deal to me. I just wanted to know how they interpreted that. And clearly, they gave it a qualified grade. So, for Umbrella Academy, we both predicted a 9.6. Let's go and read what's on there. It says Umbrella Academy, no number. Dark Horse Comics, April of '07. Store stamp on front cover. And there's the store stamp. Free Comic Book Day edition. First appearance of the Umbrella Academy. Free Comic Book Day 2007 promotional. It says Gerard Way and Ron Mars stories. Gabriel Ba, Clement Suave, and Matt Camp art. James Jean cover. Gerard Way, he's the lead singer of My Chemical Romance. Not My Chemical Romance. Your Chemical Romance. And on the back, we have an advertisement for Zero Killer. So let's see what our qualified grade is. 9.8. Oh boy. Very, very cool. As I said, we'll hang on to this. Mrs. Musings really enjoyed this show. I didn't watch it, but I did read the comic book in trade form, and I enjoyed it. So Umbrella Academy Free Comic Book Day edition, 9.8 qualified. All right, next up. Oh boy, this is a keeper. This is one for Mrs. Musings. She likes Wonder Woman. Did you want to read this one? No, dear. You're so studly. You read so much better than me. All right, I guess I'll go ahead and read it then. You heard the woman. All right, we've got Wonder Woman number 76, DC Comics, October of 2019. Variant cover. G. Willow Wilson story. Lee Garbett art. Jenny Frison cover. And on the back, we've got an advertisement for the Batman Hush graphic novel. So Wonder Woman number 76. Where's that rascal at? Oh, there it is. We both predicted a 9.6. So let's see. I would like to point out, I would usually predict first. And there you go. So I was right, and then she probably copied mine, which made her somewhat right. So a 9.6, super excited about that. This one's a keeper, and hopefully we'll display it somewhere downstairs. All right. I tell you what, it's all over the place. I think it really does depend on who you get grading your books. Because the last batch, which were probably graded 6 months to 9 months prior to these, were consistently lower grades than what we had predicted. And we seem to be a little bit more on the mark now, but we didn't have the feedback before we predicted these grades. So we still graded pretty liberally on these too, and not so conservatively. So it really is a toss-up. In the end, it's a human being evaluating the comic book based on whatever criteria they're using in whatever mood they're in that particular day. And depending upon how long it's been pressed prior to the grading, I do think that that makes a difference as well. So, which one is this? Conan the Barbarian number 1, Marvel Comics, March of 2019. And it's actually Conan the Barbarian number 276 with the legacy numbering. And this is the Perillo Virgin Edition. Do you like that one?
No.
She does not like Perillo's art, says it's too dark, too shadowy, which a lot of people say that. Jason Aaron's story, Mahmoud Asrar art, I know I'm not saying that properly, and Lucio Perillo cover. All right, so for this one, I predicted a 9.8, and Mrs. Musings predicted a 9.6. So let's see who came closer. Oh, rats! 9.6. I'm happy with the grade, but I'm super angry that Mrs. Musings won that round. All right, so Conan the Barbarian 9.6, and on the back, it's just a plain with the title because this is the Virgin Edition, and so for Virgin Comics, they don't have the trade dress on the front. All right, next up. Ooh, we've got the redhead, Red Sonja, sporting her chainmail bikini armor. All right, would you care to read this one?
No.
All right. We got Red Sonja number 1, Marvel Comics, January of 1977, based on Robert E. Howard's Red Sonja. Roy Thomas and Clara Noto's story, Frank Thorne, cover and art. On the back, we've got the evil one and all of his vehicles. How many of you rascals and rascalettes would want some of those? I know I would. All right, let's see what we predicted for this. I predicted a 9.2, and Mrs. Musings predicted a 9.0. So hopefully, I'm closer to the truth than is she. Oh, rats. Again, this is similar to the Spider-Woman one. We've got an 8.5 with white pages. So she was closer, one notch above. I was 3 above, or 2 above, I guess. Wah, wah, wah. Still a great book, but I was hoping for at least a 9.2. All right. Let me note that. And what do we have? Oh boy, one of my favorites, Shogun Warriors. Do you rascals know about Shogun Warriors? It is a great, great series. Fun read. One of the best in the Bronze Age, in my opinion. All right, so what do we have? Shogun Warriors, issue number 1, Marvel Comics, March of 1979. Doug Mentz story, Herb Trimp and Dan Green art, Herb Trimp and Al Milgrom cover. And on the back, we've got that Lego Builder Series advertisement. All right, so let's see what we've got. There it is. We both predicted a 9.6. Let me rephrase that. I predicted a 9.6, and Mrs. Musings copycatted my prediction. So let's see what we've got. Oh boy, fantastic. I'm not upset that we undergraded that one. That is a beaut. If we don't already have a 9.8, because I know we have this graded, it might be a 9.6, then we'll swap them out. Otherwise, this one will be on the old cell block. Wonderful. 9.8 for Shogun Warriors number 1. All right. This is one of those I was lucky enough to find in the wild for a pretty good price. And we've got Darth Vader number 3, Marvel Comics, May of 2015. First appearance of Dr. Cheliafra, 000, and BT1. Kieran Gillen's story, Salvador LaRocca art, Adi Granoff cover. And on the back, we've got an advertisement for, Star Wars The Black Series. Pretty sure I would have known that. I would have noticed that going in. Look at that color rub. That doesn't bode well for this grade. Let's see where we're at. We both predicted a 9.4. And I now predict that that'll be a little bit high. So let's see what we've got. Wow. And it is a 9.4. Amazing. With that color rub.
There's a lot of color rub on the front too.
Yeah. I just think
along the spine.
That seems a little high. Cool, but it does seem a little bit high. 9.4, so we were both right on the money. And I'm sure it's white pages. Sorry, I haven't been checking that. All right. We've got a Spider-Man. Let's see what we've got here. Amazing Spider-Man, number 299, Marvel Comics, April of 1988. Venom appearance, chance appearance. It says, David, is it Michelini or Michelini? I'll say Michelini story. Todd McFarlane and Bob McLeod art. Todd McFarlane cover. And on the back, we have an ad for, what's that? Forgotten Realms. Maybe that's like a board game. A D&D type, strategy type game. All right, so we've got ASM 299. Let's see. We both predicted a 9.2. So, survey says, come on, give it to me. All right, a 9.0. All the ASMs, the 298, 299, 300, we've had graded are all 9.0. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. All right, ASM 299, 9.0. Could have some really cool matching grades. I don't collect Spider-Man, but I know many of us out there do. That's the last one, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right, that will do it for the CGC grade reveal that we have for today. Pretty excited, pretty happy with results. Mrs. Musings is jumping around inside, you just can't tell. I hope you enjoyed seeing them, and if you did, I would encourage you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you're alerted as soon as I release new. Exactly, videos. Thumbs up. There we go. And comments are always appreciated. And remember, we're taking over the world. Gotta have one. One comic book at a time.